Tristan Jarry comes out of his net, doesn't get all of the puck. He's trying to negate what would have been a pretty clear-cut breakaway for Roman Josi. Again, I think part of the issue here, and when you watch the reverse angle, you'll see that I think Draisaitl actually tips this puck when it's dumped in. He puts his stick up and it changes direction. And I think that might be part of the reason why Tristan Jarry kind of hesitates to come out of the zone the way that he did. I guess maybe that angle doesn't show it all that well, but I didn't actually hate the decision by Tristan Jarry just because it would have been a clear-cut breakaway for Josi. So go out, create a little bit of chaos. Like, this is a non-conversation, and actually we're applauding the work of Tristan Jarry if Leon Draisaitl wins that stick battle there and actually knocks his guy off the puck.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was the right play, to be honest. When that puck's coming over and before it gets to him actually showing him coming out, I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, he should probably come out and play this puck.
Yep.
And he did. The only problem I have with it is there seems to be a slight hesitation as if, should he come out, should he not come out? You got to commit to it, right? If you're coming in, and if there was a deflection, like you said, on Draisaitl, then I'm sure that had some factor in it. My biggest gripe with this goal is that those three guys just stayed out on the ice for so long when there was a clear time for them to go and make a change and trust that some other guys were going to come on the ice. And they weren't even getting that many opportunities, to be honest, maybe one, if I'm remembering correctly. So I would put this more on the three players in front of Tristan Jarry than what Tristan Jarry did. I mean, it looks ugly. There's no doubt about it for what it is, but it was the right play. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 play. And it's one of those, like, if he doesn't come out to play it and Josi picks this up and fires one home past him. And listen, maybe Bouchard would have caught Josi, but now we're getting into like all these other hindsight sort of arguments. If Jarry doesn't come out to play this, Josi scoops it up and fires one past him on his blocker side. Everyone's sitting here going, why wouldn't Jarry come out and play that puck? He had so much time to play that puck. Someone in the chat said, what the hell is Evan Bouchard doing? Evan Bouchard is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Your goalie's out of the net. Someone's got to try to stop the puck. Like, I have no problem with what Bouch was doing here.
No. I mean, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I think anyone in the right mind, if you saw your goalie go and doing that, you'd probably go stand on the goal line too and try and block that puck if it comes to it. And he's actually not too far away from actually blocking that. Dave said Trusty could make a save on a breakaway. Jarry was making some good saves in the third period. I don't deny that at all. He had an interesting game. We can maybe dig into it a little bit more, but I think just this play alone, I'm not blaming Jarry at all. Just you made the right decision, I think. I have more of an issue with the long shift that the forwards took, and I also understand that too. You're in the offensive zone. You're the best players in the world. You think you're going to be able to end this game pretty quick, but I would have brought on Nugent Hyman or whoever the next line was to get things going there.
Yeah, and that's a conversation I want to get to a little bit later. We're going to play our hit game, Is It Cake, Liam? And I'm going to give you some takes. You're going to tell me if it's cake or not.
Okay.
And listen, people watch the games. You want someone to blame. You want someone to let out your frustration on. I totally get that. 29 and 97 were the problem, says MB. Yeah, again, they stayed out too long, but can I throw you something else here? 29 and 97 got onto the ice for that second shift. Maybe the coaching staff should sit there and say, you know what? We're not just going to go with, because I think they went to Nugent Hyman and then flipped right back to Connor and Leon. Jack Roslovic has a couple of OT winners this year. Why don't you go Roslovic and Savoy for a shift? Give Connor and Leon a few extra seconds to rest up. Like, part of this can also, it doesn't have to just be like 29 and 97. What are they thinking? Well, no, they get thrown out there by Chris Knobloch. So I think there's blame to go there. 29 and 97. The game's not in overtime if it's not for Leon Draisaitl's 3 points, Zach Hyman's 2 goals, Connor McDavid picks up a couple of points. Like, we're not going to sit here and heap a ton of blame on the star players for that goal in overtime because, again, it's a difficult, chaotic play. Someone said just back check hard. They're at the end of a very long shift, and it was their second shift in overtime. Like, it was a little bit of like a culmination of all of these things just kind of going wrong at once and some poor decisions all piling up at once, and you lose the game in OT. It's not the end of the world. Like, this to me doesn't signal some sort of like massive issue for the Edmonton Oilers.
I do think Roslovic and Kapanen had a very quick shift in the defensive zone, but then the shift was very long. It wasn't even that long. I don't even know if they got to the offensive zone, to be honest. So, Aaron, I did just send you the full highlight of the goal leading up to it if we wanted to pull that in quickly. But I do think there's one thing that's interesting about this Oilers team, and I know I'd have to look, but like, doesn't Jack Roslovic have 2 overtime goals? I'm assuming he would
That's
be
what I'm
right up
saying. Yeah.
there as like a leader in overtime goals for his team. Darnell Nurse has 1 as well on the season. Bouchard has 1. Like, I don't know how many more Draisaitl and McDavid would actually have in regards to scoring a goal. Ironically, as much as we lean on them, and deservedly so, they're unbelievable players, and I would want those 3 guys on the ice in overtime. But I just think they should have maybe taken a shift, Aaron. Just whenever you have that goal, just throw it in. Here you go. You can kind of see like McDavid should have probably taken the shift right here as the puck is just cycling around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up does he get a shot away? He gets it taken off. Bad play. And then all of a sudden is going down the ice. You're right. That might have hit off Draisaitl. And yeah, I don't know. Saying Bouchard should have got back. They should have just changed. And it's not even a long change, is it not? Isn't the bench right there?
Yep.
Yeah. So this would have been an easy one for me.
Yeah, Tyler Mulick. McDry stayed out for too long. Should have just turned out of the zone when it was clear Josi and Shea had him locked up. Yeah, and I don't like Connor McDavid kind of trying to take on. I mean, again, you want Connor McDavid to score nice goals, so sometimes you got to live with stuff like that. But I just feel like time and place, I think trying to walk Roman Josi maybe isn't the time to make that move. Like if you're barreling down on Nick Blankenberg, like feel free, but Roman Josi maybe not the guy to try and do that on, or not the guy to try to do it on when you're out there. So again, a frustrating finish, and I think we can probably call it a frustrating game. We can sit here and kick back and forth this OT thing for the entire show and never get anywhere. We'll spin our wheels on it. I do think there are some other, I'll call them issues from this hockey game. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.